Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Fortunate Farmer YouTube channel. You may have seen my last video about the timber frame pavilion in Pennsylvania and thought to yourself, wow, that's pretty cool. That's going to be pretty hard to top. Well, I think I've picked out a project that might do exactly that. You're not going to want to miss this one. So the big project that we're going to be tackling next is going to be a timber frame workshop. This workshop is 26 by 30. We're going to cut and mill our own poplar here on the property. It's a large property and there is quite a bit of poplar around the edge of a field that I'll point out to you. So I just had this field on top of this hill forestry mulch. You know, this was a much larger field back in the day and just kind of grew up because nobody was maintaining it. So now it's a field again, but there's still lots of poplars on the edge. So we're gonna try and kill two birds with one stone here. Mill these poplars up for the shop and widen the field a little bit. Alrighty, so here's the proposed build site. I got it staked out here, you can see with the yellow flags. We're right on the edge of a horse field, and then there's a stream down there and another field. Pretty good access to the drive, and we'll just put a gravel road, gravel pad right here. And then we'll have some animals over there, so we can connect it all up right through the fencing here, and it should be really nice. So what I'd like to do is mill that poplar, expand the field, and do something with the resources there and build this workshop. So like I said, 26 by 30, it's got an aisle and it's got a center bay. And the purpose of this workshop is going to be staging for the farm equipment and for the animals that we want to have over on the farm proper, part of the property, as well as an actual timber frame workshop for a business that I'm starting to grow. I've got a few customers in the works for small timber frame projects here and there, and I need a place to be able to do that. You know, my garage is great, but it's really not big enough, and it's not dedicated. We got things coming in and out. I got the lawnmower and the sawmill and the cars, and it's just it's not the right space to be doing professional work for others. So this shop should fit that need, at least temporarily for several years is what I'm thinking. "26 by 30, we've got 9 posts. It's a king post style, but it's got this elongated roof, double roof pitch, and it's got the loft, which I really like. So with these plans, a couple things to consider. 5,345 board feet. The pavilion that we did was about 2,000 board feet, so this is almost 3 times the amount. However, a lot of that board footage is actually in the rafter section, which we might tone down a little bit, because this is a lot of rafters. I think they're on like one 18-inch spacing, which is a little bit overkill, especially considering they're 4x8s. Now, the other thing is that this is poplar and not oak. So when we did that oak, everything with oak is more difficult because it's very heavy. It's heavy to cut and transport to the mill. It's heavy to rotate, and you have to choose very large trees to get those huge timbers that we needed. So again, the weight just goes up. With poplar is much lighter, it's much easier to cut, my blades will last longer. That's a different animal entirely, so I'm excited to be doing this out of poplar, and poplar is a very, very abundant resource on this property. So we'll be putting it to good use. Now I really like these exploded drawings here. You can see without the rafter section, all the tie beams and plates, sort of the general flow, how all the joinery fits together. This will be the slab plan. So the architects have it set up for a 3.5-inch setback from the edge of the slab, and I guess that would be for a 2x4 framed wall. So we're probably going to do something very similar to that. By the way, this is Timber Frame Headquarters. I've used them a bunch. They're fantastic. Here's the loft, which I really like. I'll put extra fasteners, extra tools, whatever, stuff for the animals up there. Here's the rafter section. So spacing was 1 foot 9 inches, so 21-inch spacing. Might be able to adjust that. Now, this particular plan does not have piece drawings, so you're supposed to be able to do all the building and all the cutting from just the architectural drawings alone. So that's going to be a new challenge, which I'm interested in taking on. This page is pretty neat. Shows you the scarf joinery on the plates and the spline joinery on the tie beams. I really like the size of this opening. This opening is 15 feet, 8.5 inches wide. And then you have a 10-foot aisle. So I can put the sawmill in the aisle, or I can put spare timbers in the aisle. Here's the king post structure. And here's a little more detail, cross-section view of the king post arrangement. And then you've got a few details here at the end which are supposed to flesh out that special joinery. For example, the through tenon, which is going to look really neat, the spline detail, and the scarf joinery. Well, if you liked today's video and you want to see more, please consider liking and subscribing. There's going to be a lot more, especially related to this building. I'm going to do a multi-part series in which I go through cutting down the trees, milling all the lumber according to the timber list that's provided, cutting all the joinery, the slab pour, the raising, everything. So it's going to be a really exciting project, and I'd like to bring you along for the whole thing.